This is the end. Now, this is the end stars a boatload of comedians in this movie. You got Seth Rogen, Jay Baruchel, Jonah Hill, James Franco, Dan McBride, and Craig Robinson, and a boatload of other cameo actors in this movie. Now, the plot for this movie is that after James Franco throws a party, an apocalypse happens, and all those comedians playing themselves are trapped in the house to ride out this apocalyptic storm. Now, going into this movie, I was skeptical because usually with movies like this, we got a boatload of comedic talent in this movie, usually hit and miss. And I'm proud to say that This Is the End is a hit. This is what people expected when they went to go see Grown Ups. This is I'm not going to say smart comedy, it's a silly comedy because it's not dumb, but it's very silly and it's very fun and entertaining. This is a movie that you can't take seriously. This is a movie when you go into is that you have to leave your brains at the door. And it's good, entertaining fun because you know what made this movie good is the fact that the actors are playing themselves. And they play on the fact that what critics talked about in their movies, what they say about them personally. So they're kind of making fun of themselves in this film. And it worked for the most part. Is some of the jokes hit and miss? Yeah. Do some of the jokes fall flat? Sometimes. But for the most part, these jokes actually do hit. I'm not even going to talk about the acting in this movie because the acting, they're playing themselves in this movie. But the stand-up in this movie, I think, was maybe two people. Maybe Danny Bride and James Franco. But everybody else in this movie was on par with each other. Now, is it your smart type of comedy? No. Is it your dumb type of comedy? I can say yes, but I feel me calling it a dumb comedy is kind of disrespectful because it's a silly comedy that works. And it's something that grown-ups missed out entirely because with me personally, Grown Ups is a movie that was such a disappointment because of comedic talent. Because usually, like I said before, we got all that talent together, it usually falls short. I always consider when this type of talent comes together, it's like the Avengers of that particular field. It could be comedy, it could be action, it could be anything. And when you got that talent together, it's always a big reach to make it work. And I'm glad to say, This Is the End actually does work. Going into this movie, you really have to shut your brain off. If you don't shut your brain off into this movie, I think people will not like it. It's a lot of inside jokes, a lot of jokes that, you know, people may not get if you're not a fan of them, but if you're a fan of some of these actors and comedians, then I think you guys will get it. And for me, I had a good time with it. So for me, This Is the End gets 3.5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. So, if you like this review, please rate, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, Movie Nation.